Hi guys, welcome to Beer Time. Kyle here. Let's do some day drinking today. Got an offering from Atlanta today, Hotlanta if you will, from Red Brick Brewing Company. Thought I'd give it a try. This is Laughing Skull. Dun dun dun. Their amber ale. We're gonna give it a go. 5.3%. I'd say this is kind of if I had to take a guess for me, like amber ales are kind of like utility beers, right? You just gonna have a beer, there it is. You don't have a preference about it, whether it's too malty or hoppy, style wise, it's just kind of right down the middle, straightforward. But in that, maybe there's some genius, right? Maybe it's not too complicated. Maybe it's got a little bit of flavor, but it's got enough to keep you occupied. But you don't have to think about it too much, and that can be a good thing sometimes. So many big beers out there, huge IPAs, heavily malted beers, high gravity stuff out there, and sometimes what you just need is a beer. I've never had this before. I've had from Red Brick, I believe it's Red Brick, I've had their Vanilla Gorilla, which is a strange name, obviously, but it's their vanilla stout, and it is delicious. I like it very much. I think it's the stout. It could be a porter, but I think it's a stout. This has some very strange packaging. It's got a skull on it with some kind of googly eyes on it, and it reminds me, if you've ever seen like the old Hanna-Barbera Scooby-Doo, like the way they did the skulls, and they're like like that thing. That's what's going on here, and I don't love it. It's kind of just a it's okay, but it's not classy. And if it's not classy, why even get out of bed in the morning, right? I'm just kidding, but I'm not really. So, a couple of ways to do this. I'm wanting to put this in here, and I may regret that, but it seems to me like an amber ale is a perfect kind of beer to drink right out of a bottle, but I like to see the contents of it when I'm doing these day drinkings, so I thought I would pour it in here. Sometimes beer's not overly complex, and if it's not overly complex, I don't want to toss it under the bus if it's just flying out of a bottle, and sometimes it is. We've got a medium kind of nut brown here. On the nose, it's kind of light-bodied. It does have a little bit of sweet malt in it. Almost no head to speak of. You know what this is like? This is more like it tastes a little bit like a brown. Like the stuff is, and it's good. It's got some coffee in it. A little bit of like instant coffee, light bitterness. I was a little worried that this might be a little boring. It's not boring. There's some like roasted malts in here, and a little bit of it that form up kind of some, and there's some hops in there too that come on the back end, bitter, and they're just balanced perfectly with the roasted malt. And I say roasted malt like it's not smoky, but it's definitely roasty. And it, at the front end, it's got a little bit of taste a little bit of grains, not quite like cereal grains, but you get my drift. Sometimes these beers can tend to be a little bit boring, but sometimes you just need something to drink, like a cold beer that's not too complicated, because maybe your day was too complicated, and you don't want to think about it, and you just want to veg out with a six-pack. This might be what you're looking for, this Laughing Skull Amber Ale. It's more interesting than I thought it would be, but it's not so interesting that you're like, that was the most delicious beer I've ever had in my life. That was the best beer. This may just be the best beer like you need for today, which is a little bit of a different animal, I think. I'm trying to find a good reason to have something that, doesn't just jump out and grab you by the neck. And this doesn't. Maybe if you're kind of beered out, not that you ever would be, and you're just looking for something with flavor from kind of a small craft producer, and you don't want to be like, you want to drink, but, you know, you don't want to have like 90-minute IPA, maybe this is your guy, you know? It's pretty tasty. Most of the flavor in this is at the back end of it. Some hops, those roasty notes and stuff. Not in the front end of it, the back end of the flavor. And then it kind of falls away. Still some hops back there. The hops kind of sneak up on you here. You know what? This is a pretty good beer. I would definitely buy this again. And I think, yeah, this is that beer for when maybe you just had a little bit too much and you need to pump the brakes, but you're not going to go domestic. You know what I mean? This is that product. So, not bad. Red Brick Brewing Company. Laughing Skull Amber Ale. 5.3%. Kind of leaning towards session, right? And this is out of Hotlanta, so it's pretty good. I like it. You know, I hope you guys can do some day drinking today. This is a pretty good day drinking beer. I hope you can get out, maybe shake off the trappings of the day, find that perfect amber ale, something that just, you don't have to think so much about it and just pump the brakes a little bit. You know, read your magazine, kind of sit there, you know, find a little time for yourself and just kind of, I don't want to say veg, but maybe not think so much about it. Because maybe the day was hard. Maybe you didn't get to do that much day drinking. And that's kind of a sad story. Anyway, this is good. Get out, do some day drinking. I'll catch up with you later. And I hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye-bye.